It's Black History Month here in the UK, and we are going to talk some Black British wrestling today with none other than the Wolf of Brawl Street, Alexander Roth, right here on WrstlXtra.
Oh, yo, this is WrstlXtra. I'm your boy, A Dazzle, always joined by my tag team partner, Mex, the WrestleManiac, if you will. Yes, if you're watching us on YouTube right now, of course, you can see that there's a third person down below us. And for those who don't know, I'm gonna let him kind of do his introduction. I'm sure he'll do it better than me. He knows more about himself than I do.
Me? Why am I doing it, bruv?
So
Allow it.
guys, this
Allow it, bruv. What's going on over here? All right,
for those that don't know, we have an amazing British wrestling star by the name of Alexander Roth. I like to call him the Senton specialist.
Hella sentons, my guy.
Trust me. A multiple time champion, currently holding 3 titles at the moment?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, 3 still.
Belt collector vibes.
Belt collector in London. This is what I'm telling you. Yeah, man. So as Mex mentioned, it is Black History Month here in the UK. What I like to do on Black Wrestling Alliance is celebrate the present stars making history.
Right.
So we're not delving into older stars and trying to dig up some roots that we probably never knew existed. We like to find the people that are doing things here and now and highlight those guys. So we are lucky enough to be joined by Roth himself. My guy, your time. How's life?
Life is what's life saying? Life is life. Life be life in, my bro. What can I say, man? Do you know what I mean? It's Monday, then it's Sunday, and then it's like, oh, well, it's Wednesday, then it's it's Sunday again, and then it's Christmas, and then it's your birthday, then it's Christmas, and then it's your birthday, and it's like, hang on a sec, hang on, how did I get to this age so quickly? What is going on? That's life, bro. That's how life is, mate.
I hear it.
Do you know what I mean?
I hear that completely. So let's
Bending
get into
down.
it. Let's get into it.
Knees hurting
So
and all that.
as we know, wrestling for us in the UK for one is quite a bit of a niche. Kind of like we don't really talk about it out in the open that often. But then add the extra asterisks, being black, a black wrestling fan in the UK is out of this world.
That's
now,
madness, mate. What are you talking about? It's unheard
out
of.
of this world, bro.
It's alien.
So now you being a black wrestler,
Yes, sir.
how does a man where you're from get into this crazy business called wrestling in the UK? How did you start out, or was you a fan before you got into it? Was it something that happened quite close to, and then you thought, oh, let me try this? How did it work out for you?
Yeah, I was a fan. I was a fan for a long time. I was a fan from year 2000, really. And then I kind of started watching it from when The Rock won the Rumble. That's the first event I watched, Royal Rumble 2000. So that whole event, the whole thing, the whole shebang. And then what is it in terms of me getting into wrestling?
Yeah.
Luckily I lived in Thornton Heath, right, in Croydon. So I looked for schools when I was 18, didn't find any. There was also all the schools. I can't even remember the details now because 18 was a little while ago. So, but I couldn't I didn't go through with it. I just did 18-year-old stuff. But anyway, I remember I did the wrestling's podcast. We talked about it was college stuff. That's what it was called, college stuff.
I remember.
Yeah. So I did that. But in terms of me getting in, like I was saying, I found a school in Croydon. So if there wasn't a school in Croydon, I don't know. I probably wouldn't be sitting there now, mate. But luckily there was. So in terms of me going there, it was just leave my house, get a bus, I'm there. Not even half an hour.
Nice.
So
it is an interesting question, actually. What would you be doing if you didn't fall into wrestling? I think I got a bit of an idea. I know I've seen you a couple of times with a mic in your hand. So maybe
I
that.
don't, mate, I don't know if I'll be doing music, bro. To tell you the truth, I kind of fell out of love with it, and I fell out of love with it because when I started doing music, I really liked doing music, innit? And it was like every time I spoke to someone, it's like, oh, so what do you do? Oh, yeah, I'm a estate agent. Oh, I'm a this, I'm a that. I was like, I do music. Oh, okay. And then the more I spoke to people, it was like, so what do you do? I do music. I do music too. What do you do? I also do music. What about you? Music. You? Music. What about you? I cut hair, but on the side, I'll do music. You know what I mean? It's like, bruv. Why is everyone... That's where the wolf thing came from, innit? I don't.
Right.
I've always kind of classed myself. I find it hard to be part of crowds. I can find, I can integrate in crowds and different groups of people, but in terms of I'm the kind of like a loner sort of thing, in a weird way. So that's where the wolf thing came from, isn't it? So when everyone's doing music, I don't want to be a sheep. I'm the wolf, so I'm gonna go and do a wolf thing. So I don't know anyone else doing wrestling that I know. Even in my personal friends, there's still no one.
Yeah.
And no one's achieved what I've achieved. And this is me looking in hindsight. The last couple of years, I've done bare. I've done bare, like so much, bruv. So much than I ever would have dreamed of. That I never would have thought. If you had told me, how long ago was it? 8 years ago, that I'd have done half the things I've done. It'd have been like, no, never. Me, absolutely not. But no. I've done it. I've lived the dream. I'm still living the dream. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
So let's talk about that. So I discovered you probably about 3 years or so ago.
Yeah.
And obviously you were trying to kind of make your way. I think you were kind of, you were championing small promotions and stuff like that. And then I saw you in action. I was like, how is this guy just still here?
Because the boy's cold, isn't it? And I'm joking. I'm joking.
How am I seeing, other stars, especially, of course, I'm looking for my Black British stars. How am I seeing other guys doing what they're doing and doing great things? And no disrespect to any of them whatsoever. They were there because they should have been there.
Absolutely.
But how did we leave out Alexander Roth? Now, the last 2 years or so, as you said, you've achieved some great things. You debuted in Progress. I think it was this year. We've had everything patterned and some of the stuff that's come from that. Has, as much as you've kind of done recently, do you still feel left out?
No, not really.
Okay.
Maybe. No, I wouldn't say left out. I'd say if I had to deep it, I'd say maybe left it a little bit long, didn't you? I'm a little bit older now, mate. You should have got me when I was in my prime. But I mean, who's to say? Who's to say? I'm telling you how I know how I wrestle. I know what I can do. I know what I'm capable of, innit? And I can assure you, I was capable of a lot more stuff like 2-3 years ago, innit? So I'm in pain now, innit? Like I kind of enjoy the pain, innit? It's not like I can't get out of bed, I'll help. It's just like that hurt. Oh, what was that? Never felt that before. I'm noticing little more things now. And like I'm not as flexible as I used to be. That's one of my main things. So like, there's a lot of things that if I was a little bit more flexible, I would do those things. So I don't know how we got into that, but yeah, I don't feel left out. I don't feel left out. I feel fine. I'm happy.
So it took a while.
It took a while, but we got there in the end.
Got there. Okay. I
think what did Sansa Stark say in that Game of Thrones season that nobody likes? Oh, she said I'm a slow learner, but I learn. But it's the same thing, isn't it? I'm slow getting there, but I got there in the end. You know what I mean? The tortoise. And if the hare and the tortoise race, I'm the tortoise. Right? I'm gonna take my time, but I'll get there.
From a wolf to a tortoise.
There it is. Hangs out the tortoise. Hangs out the tortoise then.
So we've talked about the black wrestling scene before with different people, and we've had multiple conversations in different spaces and stuff like that, and we know that there's always been kind of like an issue. So we've had everything patterned. I think we've had 3 now. I think there's been 3 different ones now.
There has been.
Yeah, which is amazing. Great thanks to Roy Johnson, and obviously we featured on all 3 of them as well.
Right.
But then there's still this issue of, even at a show like Everything Patterned.
Oh, here it comes.
Yes, you know it's about to come. Even with a show like Everything Pattern, that's mainly for us, by us.
It's black. It's just black, and I hate it. Yeah. Go on.
But at the same time, we are still the minority in that crowd.
Oh man. Yeah.
How do you think? Okay, how do you think that happens? And do you think there is any way of realistically changing it, or is this just like the truth that we have to?
Do you know what? I'm gonna be. I'm just gonna be rude. I'm gonna be no fool about it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Best way I can put it is, see, like I heard a conversation the other day with I heard on some podcast, so the guy was saying that he's wore a suit to work every day for X amount of time. He's always looks good, fresh trim, always in a suit. There's a high profile job, right? And then the one time, sorry, not the one time. So one of his bosses made a comment to him about fried chicken or something, right? And he said to himself, "Raw, so no matter what I do the best work in this place. I look the best, I dress the best, smell the best, whatever it is. I do everything I'm supposed to do, but they're still gonna only see me as fried chicken, watermelon, grapes, and everything. Air Force Ones, knife crime, and blah blah blah, and etc. So so he's like, basically what I did now I wear tracksuits to work. Now I got afro because they just think it anyway. So it's a thing where like. If you've got everything pattern show, anyone coming, they're thinking, it's just gonna be, I'm a little bit intimidated, a little bit timid. I don't know if I'm comfortable in that kind of environment. Well, you should be, you bloody well should be, mate. Because I see you lot at Carnival getting it in, catching wines and that. It's all right then. You come to everything pattern show and come and catch wines when we do the candy dance at the end of the show. Do you know what I mean? So that's how I see it, bro. That's how it's always gonna be that way. We're always gonna be, like. Oh, wait! Oh, look! Roth's angry again. Careful! You know? Give me a break. Let me live, please. But yeah, that's how I see it, bro.
Fair enough.
It's hard one, isn't it? It's hard. That's just how I personally see it. But obviously, I do security, right? So I see things that others wouldn't usually see, and people react and say things to me that make me just think raw, like. It just doesn't matter, does it? Really, it doesn't matter what's happening in history. Doesn't matter what history, if it's Black History Month, if it's Green History Month, Orange History Month. It doesn't matter. It don't matter. We're where we are, and that's how it's gonna stay.
So is that something that you're now, I guess, just going with, or is it still something you have any kind of aspiration to maybe change or do something about?
See, I would love to change it, but I'm not that. That's not really my suit, bro. Because in my mind, I'd rather change it within my household. I got kids, I'll just change it for them. Do you know what I mean? I ain't gonna worry about strangers on the street that would stab me in the back and run me over the first chance they get, or anything, whatever it is. But I'll just focus on my household because that's where the heart is. Do you know what I mean? Sort of thing. I don't really see it changing. It's not changing. How many years has it been? It's not going to change in my lifetime. So we're just going to keep it moving, baby. We're just going to keep living the dream, baby, and keep it moving.
This is true.
Sounds horrible. But
how do you feel like, obviously, I think maybe about a year ago or so, there was kind of a big conversation on the fact that, okay, we finally got to the point where more and more like black wrestlers are being booked on these UK shows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
On the face of it, nobody knows because they're not on the posters, they're not necessarily on the artwork and all of that kind of stuff. So then to get black fans in the building is like, well, if black fans, at least the initial investment is let's go support another black person, like that's step one. They don't even know if another black person is going to actually be there. Like us that are in this community doing what you might want to call journalism or whatever, we've kind of all found ourselves accidentally because we know how rare black wrestling is in the UK. And, then ultimately we stick together like this because it's like, wow, that's, these are my compatriots sort of thing. How does it bother you, or do you feel, like, especially for some of these promotions where you are like the main guy, you're champions, you're holding titles for them, do you want to see yourself and be able to maybe show others that, want to support that, I'm on the front of these posters and stuff like that?
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. That's why whenever you see a poster or anything like that, I'm always going to promote it. I'm always going to post it. I'm always going to tell my people them and let people know. But again, it's just as long as my kids know what time it is, then I'm good, bro. Do you know, like, I've got a lot of at the smaller family shows that I do. I've got there's some regulars that come that are quite fond of me. And it's a mix of cultures, isn't it? Which I love, which is great, which is I'm very inviting of. But as I said, it's hard, bro. It's very, 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 very hard. It's hard on the mind. It's hard on the soul. But we just, like I said, what can you really do, mate? Apart from get up on a Monday, then get up on a Tuesday and just
do life.
Yeah, just what else can you really do? It's hard.
Yeah. We see your 8-7 brother, Roy Johnson in the comments. Big wavy in the house.
Let me see that picture of him. What picture is that? Is that the one with the biceps and that? Yeah. My guy.
So obviously, you two run around together. The 8-7.
It's 8-7, not 87. I'm gonna. No, it's fine. Call it what you want to call it. As long as we call it 8-7, I'm satisfied. As long as the name's in your mouth, it's all good, Daddy. It's all good.
Actually, that's the question I was going to ask. Like, give me the origin of 8-7, because even now I'm like 8-7. I've been trying to work it out for the longest time. Like, is it birth year? Is it what is it? What's 8-7?
8-7 is a group of lads that, when they come together, become very, very violent. And in America, there is a police code which is 187, which is homicide. And as far as I'm concerned, whenever we're together and we are booked against a set of opponents, they should probably get the police to call out the 187 call, because that's what the match is going to look like. So when I had the idea, because I had an idea for the name, right? But I had a list of names. I wish I could bring it out for you now. It's probably in the message thread somewhere.
I need to hear.
Do you know what? Let me try and have a quick gander.
You've got to tell us the worst name on that list.
Some of these names.
I need to.
I got to check the 8-7 group chat on that quickly.
Yeah,
and have a look in there. This is how long ago did I name it? Like, this is. Oh, mate, this is years ago. I might not even be there. I have to scroll right to the bottom and stuff. Hang on.
It must have been the best part of about 3 years ago now.
At least 3 years ago.
It was a lot of names. I think they were good names, to be fair. That's Spider-Man No Way Home. So I was just talking about that. That's a bit weird. That is a picture of, well, less said about that, the better. Kieran Corrupt in his natural habitat.
While you're looking for that, got a
shouts
comment
out Kieran Corrupt.
Uncle Laurie, big up Uncle Laurie. He says, big up the panel and a special guest. Where's your ref shirt though, Roth?
Whose uncle is he? Whose uncle is he? Uncle Laurie. Why is he Uncle Laurie? What, as in truck? Uncle Laurie is moving mod.
CR7 was one, says Roy.
I'm gonna have to. Bro.
Is that a Croydon thing? CR7.
Yeah. CR7. That's Fulton Heath. That's where I'm from.
Okay.
So that's what it's been Cristiano Ronaldo as well.
Not really a football fan. That's where the 7 in my handle comes from. This
okay.
I'm from the 7. So it's just really that simple.
I think Roy Johnson's given us quite a few from the list.
What's he got?
187 came out at a time we're thinking names. That's a big song, big tune.
That's why it's our main theme, the one we can use on the shows that don't go on YouTube and stuff. No, I can't find a list. It's somewhere in there, isn't it? But it's a lot of stuff to go through. But there were some good ones and there were some silly ones. But we landed on the 8-7. That's the ones we all agreed was the best one. That was Kieran Corrupt. That was Warren Banks, and of course that was Big Wavy Roy Johnson. So yeah. But as I said, that's the reason. That's the name of the group. We murder people.
We recently had a new addition.
Yes, we did.
To the 8-7. Can you tell us about this new addition? Where he's come from? Why is he here? Just give us.
You want me to tell you about Remy? I need Rem to be here to talk about Rem himself. I'm not a spokesperson. He's the man. He can tell you him damn self. But let me tell you something about Remy real quick. Obviously, I wrestled him. The reason that he's in the 8-7 is because I wrestled him and he beat the crap out of me. And I was like, that is someone that needs to be in our group to commit these homicides I was talking about a little while ago. There it is. There it is. There it is. Remy, yeah, is a bad man. And
Right.
that's it. He made his debut at Rev Pro, I believe. I think it was last night. So check out his stuff. You get me? He's coming up and he's wearing an 8-7 armband. He's part of the crew. He's in the crew. He's part of the fam, and we'll see what the future holds for Big Rem and the rest of the 87 or 87.
Mex, I know you know Remy as well. Can you tell us a bit about this guy and where he's come from?
Rem? Oh.
Yeah, the first time I met Remy, he was a steward at the second Everything Pattern, the Progress one.
Oh, that's the first time. That's the first time I met him as well. I thought
that's the first time I met him. He came over to me. He was like, "Oh, Mex, I watched your videos, this, that, and the other," and I was like, "This is insane." And he was really speaking to me like we had met before almost, and I almost felt bad. Like I was thinking, where do I know him from? Like I didn't know him. That's the facts of the matter. But then he was hot till we got talking. He said, yeah, he's training and he's had a few matches and this, that, and the other. And we went on to then obviously see him in all other kinds of promotions here and there. And the guy can wrestle. Like he is very, very impressive. And for someone that I think has been wrestling for what, a year or so? Like, yeah.
We the ones.
Yeah, he's very, very exciting, and especially like we're saying, like we're kind of counting who are our next Black British wrestlers on one hand at times, and we've seen another ones now kind of sprouted up, and you know, like Roth said, gaining pace. He's doing Rev Pro and stuff. Like it's really good to see. And then obviously we saw the anointing at the Everything Pattern a couple of weeks ago, getting that 8-7 armband. So yeah, it's looking up. It's a good addition to the group.
Nothing can stop him.
Nice. Roth, what is the immediate future or plan or goal for the 8-7? You guys have popped up on Progress. You've popped up here and there. What's the goal?
Since they're not together anymore, we want to be destination everywhere. That's what we're trying to be, baby. Tag team titles, thank you. I'll have some of those on the poster right on the front, big fat face for everyone to see. Thank you. I'll have some of that. More money in my bank so I can pay more of my bills. Absolutely. You notice one light's off right now. Yeah. I need more bookings this month. T-shirts, I think they're arriving tomorrow. So them pre-sales, I need them. So I can turn that light on. That's what 87 is about. That's it. Just anything that will elevate us and will make more people know about us, man. It's just because, to be honest, we just love wrestling, innit? So I hope that's evident. But the main thing is about us. We just love wrestling, innit? So the same as how the Wrestling boys probably got together. It's the exact same way as 8-7 boys got together. Just that we're in the ring, baby, taking the bumps and that. You get me?
That's exactly it, bro. I was gonna ask you. I saw the T-shirt design. I think it's wicked. What's the whole multiversal thing about? Like, what's
man, I'm so happy you asked this because you said it earlier, and I was just like, So I had I've had a moment in my career where I've won loads of titles before, and at the time I was like, someone was like belt collector. I was like, thank you, I'll have that. And this was 2019. I've got it on T-shirt and everything, but this is at Elite Wrestling Entertainment. This is at one promotion. They were the main people calling me that, right? So I had the belt collector thing, and then the same thing happened with the music. The exact same thing. One Twitter, I scrolled in the belt collector. I'm like, that's not me. Never mind. Next, another belt. Everyone's a belt collector now. And I was like, belt collector, please, for the love of God, do not call me that. Do you know what I am? I'm everywhere. I am multiversal. I am multiversal. So that's where that came from. So the belt collector thing is just basically multiversal. That's what it is. Hence why with the T-shirt, I saw the titles in my hand. That's the design. So that's where that came from. Hence why it says multiversal, mate, right here. Where is it? There we go. Multiversal. Not belt collector. Although I am a belt collector, I don't want to be called the belt collector because then I might hit someone with one of those belts that I've collected. And that will be a 187. Look at the promo. Look at the promo. Come on. But yeah, that's it, bro. That's the answer. I'll shut up now.
That's cold still.
How many belts have you won in your career so far? Can you even keep track of them?
Yeah. I've got an app called excuse me, called Days Since, which is that's how I track how many days I've held a title for. So it's all in there. I've got the record. It's all in there. So I think it's about 8 or 9 3 tag team championships with Kieran Corrupts, 1 with Big Wavy. It's belt collected, right? You know what I mean? It's the cat I was talking about.
It's not a bad ratio for 8 or 9 years you've been in the business.
This is a little something.
Like a belt for every year.
A little something. Don't worry about all that. Don't worry about that. I'm trying to be like you, big man. Come on, then.
TV in the ring, that's for sure. You got GG here. Obviously, big up GG.
Yes, GG.
Representing Sov Pro. He's saying the Sov Pro got some tag titles on the way.
GG, do you know what I hear? I hear you got over 1,000 likes, but yeah, I'm where is this footage?
We're trying to see that VOD.
Right.
You got 1,000 likes for over a day. What's going on? And I'm still here waiting. That's why the lights off, because I'm trying to save energy.
Yeah, we want to see them performances at Sov Pro.
Absolutely, mate. Definitely.
Yeah.
I want to watch the whole show because I was backstage and I was at the show, right? And I got to see a few of the matches, but I didn't get to watch the whole show, and I want to watch the whole damn show. I still didn't watch Extreme Rules, or rather watch Sov Pro.
I hear it.
Fair enough, guys. Just make sure you kind of stick with Sov Pro as well on their Twitter and their Instagram to find out when they're finally put out from first ring.
It's definitely worth the wait, I reckon. Definitely worth the wait.
I'm very intrigued because I didn't get to see the show at all. I saw the card and I was like, okay, this is definitely something I would have enjoyed.
It's fire, bro.
Live and all the rest of it. So I'm very intrigued to see how they put it out after it's been recorded, edited, and whatever else they've done with it. So that should be very, very interesting. So again, guys, Sov Pro, check it out. Twitter, Instagram, I think it's simply Sov Pro, and you'll find out when they put it out. Also follow GG as well, just because it's a nice.
Shout out GG, my GG.
Yeah. So you're talking about watching footage. Tell us, is there a match of you that's like your favorite match that is available to watch out there on the YouTube or wherever?
Do you know what? Every time someone asks me this kind of question, I'll always go back to one match, and it's really, really funny because this is like one of my. This is probably like under 20 matches, maybe. I had a match against a guy called Mr. Hollywood, Shane Stevens, right? This is when I first started, and when I first started, the way that they booked me was, I'm gonna be the undefeated guy for X amount of time, and in my mind, this is why it's funny to me the stuff that I've achieved, and I always laugh at it because I always saw myself as, I know you're supposed to have ambitions and want to be the best, but I've always saw myself as a mid-card guy. I was happy with that. Give me my money, give me the mid-card. I will run that. Not a problem, innit? That's how I saw myself. I'm not like, I'm not greedy, and I'm a realist, innit? So in my mind, that's as far as I could go. So when I started getting these main championships, I'm like, what about the mid-card, man? I want to go on first and go over. But it's fine. I'm just joking. So yeah, what was I saying? Where was I? Yeah, got this thought I was a mid-card guy. So what was the question again? I've actually got lost. Imagine that.
What's your favorite?
Match. Hollywood Shane Stevens. That's it. Yeah. So I saw myself as the mid-card guy, right? So they gave me the main championship after this undefeated streak, or right before it ended. And this guy, he was the guy that ended it, right? But he only ended it with it was a last man standing match. He didn't pin or submit me. So it was like, he only beat me because he put me through a table, right? But this match was, I really like it. I just really think it's not fantastic. It's not a 5-star classic, but it's me in my realest, rawest form. I'm pretty sure it's on my YouTube, but if it's not on mine, I know it is definitely on YouTube because I watched it on there a couple of times. And it's quite a long, it's about half an hour long, last man standing match. It's in Wimbledon. There's tables and stuff. It's crazy, mate. This is like my first proper hardcore type match, which I never even trained to do. Just like, there's a table, I'm gonna go for it, see what it's like. It was fine. I had a great time. But yeah, that's probably one that I always remember. Other than that, I've got matches against like Jody Flash at EWA, which was great.
Yep.
Johnny Storm at UKPW. I got Doug Williams at Tap Out. I know it's all names that I'm saying, but these are the really memorable ones. I got the matches with me when I was in the hit set of Kieran against the Rebellion. I've had me and Big Wavy had a match at IWL years ago. I remember that match. Mate, I could go on and on and on and on. Like literally, there's so many other matches against Kieran Corrupt as rivals. Mate, just there's loads really. There's not like one. There's a whole bag of them, to be fair. So
I think one of my favorites is definitely definitely in the recent favorites is definitely one with Jody Fleisch.
I really enjoyed that match, bro.
Highlights from that one on my page as well a few months back, and that, I mean, I expected it to be crazy, but to see it actually happen was like, wow.
Yeah, it's mind blowing for me because I used to watch a guy on TV and that. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you know, sometimes like I know a lot of people don't know how it always works, but sometimes us wrestlers, you don't know who we're wrestling. You know what I mean? We'll be
like day of
the match card comes out. I'm like, oh, okay. It's not all the time, but it happens quite often, and that was one of them. And I was like, okay. Is that an anxiety attack? That is. Huh. Ooh. Wow. Do you know what I mean? But it was great. I had a great time. I had a blast. We had a blast. So me and him tagged together against Sunshine Machine. Had a blast. So, mate, it just goes on and on and on, mate. To be honest. So, literally everyone.
Interesting.
I love wrestling, mate.
Go for it, Max.
I think you mentioned some great names there. Who would you say, like in the business, especially in the UK scene, has been like a bit of a big brother to you when you kind of broke through, whether it's a coach, a trainer, maybe another wrestler or something like that? Who's kind of had your back, giving you key advice, how to maybe negotiate with promoters and just conducting yourself around the business?
Can you guess? There's one of them is someone we know very well. His name is Big Wavy Roy Johnson. He's big boy. Yeah, absolutely. Now it's like levels now, innit? Because we tagged together in it, so it's all good. But at the start, it was like, oh look, he was on WWE Network. He DM me. What? He's in my inbox. We're talking. Wait, what? We're friends. What? Now we're going to shows together. What? Now I'm in a shotgun of his car. What? Now we're tagging. Nice, it's fine. But he's one. Another one is Bullet. If you know who Bullet is, Big Bullet.
No, I don't.
Bullet is a wrestler he's at Progress now. He's the guy that with Spike Trevay. He's Spike Trevay's muscle right now.
Okay, yeah.
We're really close. We're like pretty much the same age, but in terms of big brother and he's got some great advice, some great little tidbits. So probably those two. Everyone else, I'm their bloody big brother because I'm old. Everyone's younger than me, mate. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
What's the best piece of advice you've got from anyone?
Don't take advice from anybody. I got that. And this is even wrestling advice. This is the advice I got when I was in like, I think I might have been in high school or something. And this was when I was doing like dancing and stuff and talent shows. And it was like the best advice to take is just don't take nobody's advice. Just do whatever you think's right.
Do your thing. Yeah. I hear it.
I've done that, to be fair, and look where I am. I know the light's still not on, but it will be. It will be. We'll get there, damn it. Told you, taught us, baby. We'll get there. Oh man.
Taught us of Raw Street. But I need to make that t-shirt now.
What, taught us of Raw Street? I have to find something that goes to taught us. Terry the taught us or something. Oh man.
Are there any wrestlers out there that you would are yet to wrestle? And give me maybe like your realistic and your fantasy match that you probably don't even think could happen.
Okay. Well, fantasy first. I want to wrestle Samoa Joe because I know that's gonna hurt, and I want to experience it.
That's Senton's all match long.
I want to experience it. I ain't scared. It's fine. Whatever, bring it. Let's go. I want to wrestle. Who hits hard? Daniel Bryan. He hits hard. Or Sheamus. I want to see how hard they can hit. That's that. They said Pete Dunne or Butch. Pete Dunne. Them kind of people. In terms of guys that I know, I wanna. I don't know if I should say it because it might actually happen.
Go put it out there.
I wanna wrestle. Right. But I don't just want to wrestle him on a program because he can talk. I can talk. Say no more. Say no more about that. I want to wrestle. Who do I want to wrestle? Who else do I want to wrestle? I want to wrestle Jordan Said again.
Oh,
I like wrestling him. He hits hard. I like that. I want to wrestle the Rebellion again, but I am with Big Wavy. We're wrestling them at Hammerlock and a debut show. So, who else is there? Tommy Carl. I always say his name. No one. I've only had one match against him, which is criminal. So Tommy Carl, because I'm just obviously these people. These are all people that always post footage and stuff, innit? So they're like, oh yeah, this is the move I do, and I'm in my head. I'm thinking, yeah, but I've seen your MVs and stuff. So when you try and do the move to me, I'm gonna counter that. Same thing. That's happened to Joe. That's happened to Joe Lando and Danny Black at Soft Pro. They posted this footage. I'm there watching, like, yeah. So when they're trying to do it in the ring, it's like, no, here's a knee. No, here's Superman. Get out of here. Jumping through the sky. Move out the way. Bye. And that's why they lost. You see. But yeah, Danny Black singles match. Joe Lando singles match. Callum Newman singles. Maverick Mayhew. I've known him for years. I've known him longer than the rest of them. Where is the singles match? Somebody please tell me. Somebody please. So, mate, the whole indie scene, I'll wrestle, really, to be honest with you. The whole of them. A whole lot of them. Bring them, come. Until my body can't take it anymore. That's kind of where I kind of want to stop, where I'm like, ooh, yeah, probably should stop doing this now. I'm telling you right now, I'm nowhere near there, bro. I'm
Fair
good.
enough. We've got so much time, so many wrestlers to go. Let's get these promoters to start booking these matches, man, because there are so many that like you just mentioned just a few. Even some of the ones that I would have thought of as well, like Carl Newman, that guy, bad. To see you two in the ring would be crazy. Have you actually? I think you have. I can't remember. Have you actually wrestled the OJMO?
Yeah, no, I haven't wrestled him, but I beat the brakes off him because he wrestled Kieran Crocs in a singles match. I know it's criminal. I'm not even gonna say nothing because I'm telling you right now, we'll light it up. But it's fine. It's fine. Don't book 5-star matches. It's all right. Don't sell tickets. Why would you want to sell tickets? That's ridiculous. What a silly thing. Do you know what I mean? We had a singles match against Kieran Corrupt. And this is when me and Kieran Corrupt were a little bit naughty. Times 100. So after the match, I had a little bit of a few words to say to him, let's say, and that's about it, really. That's how physical me and OGMO have got, or Michael have got. Shouts out Mike.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll slap him up still, but shouts out Mike. Shouts out Connor Mills as well, another one on Wrestle again. I love wrestling Connor Mills. Yeah,
Connor Mills is another one. Very good.
He's very good. Yeah,
very good. All right. Okay. So we've talked about Alexander Roth for quite a bit. Let's kind of slip back into what this show usually is about, and that is what's been happening in Black wrestling, mainly in WWE, AEW. But let's go to the show that happened. Oh, and you said you haven't seen it, so it's probably a few spoiler alerts here. But
I don't mind spoilers, bro. I don't mind. I think I've seen all the spoilers because I follow the pages on Instagram and stuff, so it's all good to
see it. Yeah. I actually unfollowed almost everything wrestling from my personal pages, just so I don't see anything anymore. Literally that the other day. But let's get into Extreme Rules. Mex, I'm gonna go to you with this one. Just give us just a quick synopsis of Extreme Rules, and of course what happened on Raw last night. Let's go with Extreme Rules first. We have Bianca Belair versus Bayley in a ladder match, first ever women's ladder match. Mex, take it away.
They've done a really good job. They've done a very good job, and you almost know once they're given that kind of responsibility to do the first ever women's ladder match, they're gonna do a good job. At times when it looked like Bayley was gonna run away with it, Bianca just came out. One thing which I didn't know which was by design or accident or whatever, Bianca didn't climb that ladder at any point in the match like a WWE wrestler. She climbed that ladder like, I'm going to win that title. I'm not going to drag myself up this ladder or whatever to pretend I'm her. And maybe just because she wasn't like she really showed her athleticism and everything throughout. Even at the time when I think she laid out Bayley with the KOD, went up the ladder. That's when Damage Control came out, pulled her down. She kind of chiefed up Damage Control. And some people are arguing, well, how did she just kind of overcome those two women and then
the strongest,
still win,
fastest, smartest, and the est.
Yeah, the est, exactly, the EST. That's why she did. But she done the double KOD to them, which was obviously a big spot. Then another KOD to Bayley while Bayley was holding a ladder. So onto the ladder and then went up there. Like I said, just casually, no long thing in terms of the climbing, and grabbed her title. So she's still the Raw Women's Champion, which is good to see. Then on Raw last night, she was called into action because she came out to defend Candice LeRae, who was getting a beat down after beating up Bayley. But then pretty much she got beaten up straight away as she kind of made her approach to the ring. Damage Control, I guess, has still got something there, but it's obvious that they're kind of setting up the War Game stuff now that Candice will kind of join.
Oh, it's War Games, isn't it? Yeah. Survivor Series, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, lovely stuff.
That's obviously, we got the next pay-per-view is the Saudi show, big top of November. And then War Games will be somewhere towards the end of November. So I don't know if Bayley or Bianca, the plan right now is to have something at the Saudi show. They usually at least give us a one women's match these days on there. And to be fair, Bianca featured in, I think, the last one or so, and pretty good. So maybe again, but maybe they'll just save it all till War Games and start assembling the teams that are going to go in those cages.
We talked about it last week on the show and kind of, in our predictions and what we expected to happen, what we thought was going to happen with this match. And I guess it's kind of what we expected. Whoever came out with the championship will still carry on, or they'd still have this feud carrying on and going into War Games. I don't think either of us mentioned or suggested Candice LeRae as another person for Bianca's team. So I'm a little bit not surprised, but a little disappointed. I'm not the biggest Candice fan. I'm not.
Really?
I'm
Hagen.
There's just something.
You're not, bruv. She's cold, bruv.
She's very cold.
She's cold.
I've never heard anyone say I'm not a Candice fan.
Isn't it? For real though, that's for real. I've never heard that myself either. To be fair.
Fair enough. Maybe just me.
You must be broken.
Connection.
It's you and my light. We're working together, ain't ya? What's going on over here? These ops, mate. Silly.
Nah, fair enough. If she's not a cup of tea, fair enough. But I think when we did speak about it last week, Gerard said that that Toxic Attraction would be on the team of Bayley and Damage Control. And then I guess the optimistic view of Sasha Banks and Naomi returning in Boston to join Bianca's side.
Are they returning though? Are they?
That's the question, boy.
That is the question. There's no definite answer.
Are we being worked? I feel like I'm being worked.
There's no definite answer at all, but there's nothing to say. There's nothing to say they are. There's nothing to say that they're not. So it's kind of just still up in the air. I think it's the ball's completely in their court.
Oh, absolutely.
It's up to them. Completely up to them, whether they say yes or no. And WWE are probably trying to give them as much incentives, money, blah blah blah, as much as they can throw at them for them to say yes. I think that I would expect that's where it is with them. But as we saw with Sasha changing her whole Twitter and Facebook handles and whatever else, she knows her worth. So I know she's playing the game.
She's in Star Wars, bruv. She's worth money, bruv.
Exactly.
Listen, once you get to them kind of levels there, man, you've elevated, baby. No one can tell you anything.
Big time.
Literally.
Big time.
I would like to think they would at least, between Naomi, Sasha, whatever, they kind of get themselves into a position where they are at WrestleMania next year that is in Hollywood. Like, if anything, if they do need any more of a launching pad for their career outside of WWE, surely this is it. Like WrestleMania, Hollywood, and then they can really go off and jump into that world part-time basis or whatever the case is. But that just makes sense to me.
A lot of sense.
Bring back the vignettes from years ago when they made different movies. You remember?
Yep.
Did you ever see those? That were cool.
Bring
those back.
Yeah, I remember that.
They were sick.
Some of those were funny.
All I remember is the Pulp Fiction one. I remember that one. That one was hilarious.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
So the other thing that happened as well on Raw, we had Bobby Lashley versus Seth Rollins. Bobby Lashley just before the match was calling out Seth, but then we heard Brock Lesnar's music play. The Beast came back.
Yep. Is it?
Have
I not seen this? What was I doing today?
The Beast came back, took out Lashley. I believe two F5s.
What did Lashley get in?
Nothing. Gave him an F5, gave him a German suplex, gave him another F5, left the ring, then he was obviously walking out. Seth Rollins came and made his entrance. Bobby looked like he was like leaving, obviously being carried out by medics and all of that. Then Seth Rollins was trying to he was meant to have a US title match on the night. He said, "Come back into the ring. We're meant to have this match." Bobby just ignoring it until Seth pressed the button of, I thought you were a soldier. I thought that you served your country. You're a disgrace to your country. That obviously irked Bobby. Bobby turned around. They had the match. I thought this was brilliant, by the way, because the match was like, them like Brock Lesnar Goldberg matches, just 5 minutes of chaos. Like, man are just spamming their finishers and everything. Like, it was just literally because Seth was harboring his injuries from the fight pit then on Extreme Rules. Then obviously Bobby had just been beaten up. So it was just like, none of us want to be here for any longer than we have to be. Let's just beat the crap out of each other quickly and see who walks out with the title.
Right.
Seth walks out with the US Championship, so that brings Bobby's long reign to an end. And backstage, then Bobby said that he'll deal with Seth later, that he wants Brock. So it's looking like Bobby versus Brock 2 in Saudi Arabia. Hopefully a better version than what we got at, was it the Royal Rumble this year that we had that match the first time?
Yep. Hopefully no interference from Roman Reigns and all the rest of it. Obviously Roman Reigns won't be involved in any of this because he's doing his thing with Logan Paul. But what I loved about this is the fact that we still made sure Bobby came away strong. Even in a loss, obviously he was beaten up before the match. So it wasn't just, Seth defeated him and that's the end of it. Bobby looked great. I mean, he still took a pedigree. A first stomp, a frog splash, kicked out of all of those 3 pins as well. So, it kind of answers the question I was asking last week as well, in terms of how do WWE actually see Bobby Lashley and how much do they want to do with him. I think he answers a lot of that in the sense that they are definitely high on him. For him to have to be beaten up by Brock Lesnar in order to be beaten by Seth Rollins is massive. And again, we're getting Brock versus Bobby 2. Here's an interesting question. Who do you think wins this match?
I was just thinking that question, not gonna lie.
Who do you think it is, Roth?
Match?
He knows his answer. He doesn't want to say it.
You can say.
I think Brock is gonna go over, mate.
Okay.
GG said that in the chat as well. He thinks Lesnar will get his win back.
What do you think would be the purpose of that? Like, obviously, it's in terms of the direct, he gets his revenge. Does that then lead to Brock going on to something else, or do we get the rubber match?
Maybe they do the rubber match at day 1, and that's what they're setting up, because day 1 is what they've claimed is now like a big pay-per-view, or what they want to be seen as a big pay-per-view. So maybe that's where they'll do the rubber match.
It's day 1. When does that start?
1st of January.
Okay. Well, literally.
Like, yeah.
The whole gimmick. Okay, sick, cool.
So maybe that's the plan for the third match. It's funny, Gigi has just said this. Brock, they don't need a reason. You know what? I was thinking, right, Brock's just come back. He just displayed my man. But what is the reason? Like, why did you do that? Like, but
I think he's already answered that, man, because it's Brock.
Yeah.
So that's it.
But then it's weird to me that, I mean, okay, Roman's already kind of got his hands tied with Logan Paul and blah blah blah. But it's just funny to me that Brock Lesnar's priority would be to get back at Bobby Lashley and not Roman Reigns. I mean, I know we've seen Roman Reigns
it's banned
1 million times. So,
remember, following the SummerSlam match, the last match ever between these two. Remember?
It's not last.
Yeah, of course.
So that's what what's the point? He ain't got no point going for Roman Reigns if that's the case. Fair enough. Yeah, Bobby is still a bit random, but
do you think this would have been better with the US title involved, or does it even matter?
Oh no, not with Brock. US title and Brock Lesnar don't really go together, do they?
You know what? When he came out
strong.
when he came out and he was obviously Lashley was still cutting his promo holding that title, I laughed because I thought, is Brock coming to challenge for the US title? Like, but
I don't mind it. It probably would go over really well, innit? But
I don't
in my
mind it
mind,
because, yeah,
it sounds a bit mad.
I don't mind it
Oh,
because
no,
they've built it up to, Lashley's done a really good job with it. And if they then put it on Lesnar, then we know this is a title to really care about.
Yeah,
but at the same time, when you look at Lesnar's legacy, Lesnar's never won anything but world titles.
True.
From day one, like he's never
titles
won.
only.
He ain't won tag team or no mid card belts. So
fair enough. So do you think with Seth now holding it, are we carrying? Well, I'm sure we're carrying on this whole thing of elevating the US Championship. Does it feel weird for Seth to hold it? I mean, I know he's held it before, but that was years ago. He's been world champion since then. Only really been involved in world champion stuff before, or recently and whatnot. Is it a step back for Seth, or is it a step forward for the US Championship?
No, a step forward for the US Championship. I personally think. I don't think Seth can go backwards, bro. I think he's gone clear,
yeah.
But this is why when you said Brock challenging for the US title is a little weird. I'm thinking, well, isn't it? I mean, Brock's way up there when it comes to star power compared to Seth, but Seth's still up there. He's like number 3. You know what I mean? So is there some kind of weirdness to this as well with Seth holding the US Championship?
I think he's someone that they can give stories to. That's the one thing that they, I guess, messed around with on Bobby's reign. It was like, yeah, I'm the fighting champion. I'll come out. I'll just, defend my championship and move on next week. The same next week, copy and repeat. You see what I mean? But with Seth, they'll do feuds. Like, they'll have him involved in some real good stuff. That I guess the question is, how long is he gonna hold it? Is he just gonna be the guy, the full guy that's gonna transition this on to maybe a younger talent that they have some investment in and can run with? Because I don't know if he's gonna kind of go into Mania season with this. We're not too far away from looking at the road to WrestleMania as it is. So don't know how long he'll hold it for, but they'll definitely elevate it again, at least another step whilst he's champion.
Yeah.
Who could take that from him? What names can we think of in terms of who's going to challenge him? Who could possibly beat him for it? Who's the younger talent or upcoming talent that could take this from him? I'm going to go first with, I think Johnny Gargano is a very strong one.
Yeah.
Johnny Gargano is a very strong one.
Where's Ciampa? Where's he been?
I don't know. I literally don't know. For a couple of weeks, I don't think he's injured. Someone would have said. I think it could be maybe he's either they're using it as a break period to remove him away from Miz.
Yeah, probably.
He was on TV.
I know Triple H loves him, so
so
you look after him.
Yeah, I think Ciampa and Gargano are good options. I did see that Carmelo Hayes is on main event.
Yep.
And apparently people said that he had a banging match with Cedric Alexander.
Oh.
So at least those are two people. One obviously coming up from
NXT. Forgot about
NXT.
Cedric Alexander, bruv. I wonder why that is. I love Cedric. I think he's cold, bro.
Yeah.
He's so cold, but yeah, it is what it is, isn't it?
I think Gigi said in regards to Tommaso Ciampa's hip and back issues. Maybe it's an injury.
To be honest, had those for a bit. So, Roth, here's a question for you. In this modern Triple H era of the WWE, with Alexander Roth being the man that would have tore up the mid card or who's happy to sit in the mid card, where would you put yourself in this current crop of stars?
NXT North American champion.
Woo!
Like that.
Who would you have beaten?
Commander Hayes.
I like that.
Follow each other on Instagram.
I actually want to see that match.
I'm only saying it because we follow each other on Instagram, so I'm sure there could have been some storyline they would have played with, innit? And we've spoken a couple of times, and we seem to get along quite well. So I know there's some story. Oh yeah, like you used to follow me on Instagram, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, well I'm up and coming now. Give me my title. So yeah, if not that, then give me some tag team action for a couple years and that, and let me break out of that, like the same way that Montez Ford is going to do. But no one's really looking at his partner, who's starting to look really, really good. So
For real.
What's his name? Angelo, isn't it?
Angelo Dawkins.
Angelo Dawkins, yeah, he's cold as well. I know he has. Who did he wrestle? I can't remember who it was recently. I watched some highlights of him, but I noticed that he's trimmed all the way down, and he's like, "Oh yes, you lot keep talking about Montez without saying my name. I'm gonna make you say my name," and I've noticed that. So I'm like, "Alright, you know what? I'm gonna watch you. I ain't gonna watch Montez no more. I don't need to. Everyone else is."
Fair enough. No, fair enough. I think his last match was against Solo Sikoa on Raw last
I watched.
Or SmackDown.
Was there interference at the end or something?
Yeah, Sami Zayn probably.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Sami Zayn one. Yeah, it was that then. It was that. That's what I watched. Yeah, he's cold. Doing flips over the top rope now. I'm like, what are you doing in the sky and that, big man? You weren't doing that before. All right, cool. I see you putting that effort in. Sick. I love that. And that kind of thing. I watched that. I'm like, you know what? I was gonna go training. Oh, I was gonna wrestle this weekend. Oh, I want to try this. I want to try that. That's why I love. That's why I watch wrestling, bro. For that, it's that exact reason. I'm always like, oh, I can't wait to get in the ring this week. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I can't wait to. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think he's cold. So maybe
speaking about go on.
No, go on.
I was gonna say, speaking about you looking, watching wrestling and getting excited to then get back in the ring or get training again and whatnot. Yes. You've got a very frantic style. Where does it come from? Is there anyone that's like your inspiration in terms of your main set of your move set? Where is it?
I don't know. It's weird, bro, because I never. How can I say it? I never envisioned my style to be anything when I first started. When I was a few years in, even up to now, I've never been like, oh yeah. So someone said to you, "What's your style?" I would just be like, I don't know, man. I just do stuff and I do things. I'm trying to make my style more strike heavy. Because to be fair, it's always been strike heavy.
Yeah.
Because I'm the Wolf of Broad Street. So for me to be the Wolf of Broad Street and then go and have a submission match would be a bit silly.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Or whatever it is of a technical masterpiece. It will look great, but it'll just not my gimmick. I'm the Wolf of Broad Street. I fight. You know what I mean? I throw punches, I throw knees, I throw elbows. I do drivers. I won't give you a vertical suplex, but I'll pick you up and drop you on your head. Not a problem. Do you know that kind of way? So to be fair, actually, when I started, I did have a kind of thing in mind, but it definitely went where it went. Where I was like, so I'm the Wolf of Broad Street, right? So I'm the wolf. And when wolves are fighting or hunting or whatever, what do they go for? They go for the neck. So every single move I do is your head. It's either it's a head move or it's a neck move. Neck breakers, DDTs, punches to the face. And to be fair, that's kind of how it still is. To be fair, I've got a few like whatever it is to the gut and whatever it is, but mostly my attacks are straight to your head, mate. I'm going for the neck. I'm going for that kill. So that's if that was a style, that'll be it. And like Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Shawn Michaels, and The Rock. That's my 4. So I've taken something from all of them. I continue to do that. So yeah, that'll be my answer, bro. Really.
It's an excellent 4 still.
Yeah. Fair enough. That's a very
I like that. I do like my 4, to be fair. And it's never changed. That's why I like it. I've never been like, well, maybe if I move that chest piece and put that chest piece in. No, I'm like, no, that 4 will do. We won't go in the room with those. Do you know what I mean? You got your fighter, you got your guy that's the most electrifying man in the world. You got the showstopper. You got AJ Styles, who's your wrestler's favorite wrestler. Do you know what I mean? So, only person I'd probably be like Daniel Bryan. Maybe CM Punk. I'm joking.
Decent
Not Phil.
Yeah. He's a joke, man. But yeah.
Crazy. Okay, so we're into the last minute. Where can people find you? Whether that be your socials, whether that be your next few shows, where can people find you?
Next few shows, people them of the multiverse.
Hey.
We got Hammerlock, which is 8-7 versus the Rebellion. We got United which is the 8-7 versus Kira Chimera and Aluna. We have, what do I have? Oh, before all of that, on the 22nd, I believe, I have UKPW, where I believe I'll be defending my UKPW championship. I repeat, my UKPW championship.
Tell him again.
And after that, what's that? It's November then, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think I've got a few things in November, but I'm not thinking about that now. I'm in October mode. Oh, and look out for it's Halloween season, right? And I always do something with Halloween.
Of course.
Yes, that will be on the 22nd. That's the only time I can do it, because other than that, I've only got 8-7 stuff, and me and Rory are not dressing up.
Fair enough.
But I will be doing that at UKPW. I will have a little something lined up.
Where can people find you on your socials and also your t-shirt? You said you got.
Yes. Socials is I think mostly only different is Twitter, but it's Roth7, AROTH number 7. You should find me. If you have any problems with finding me, Alexander Roth Wrestler on Google always seems to work. I'll treat. Not that I've ever searched for that. Come on. Who does that? No one does that. And the t-shirt. The t-shirt is all the prepaid people. What do you call it? The pre-releases? You're all locked in now. T-shirts are arriving tomorrow, from what I heard. That's what DPD tells me. So arriving tomorrow, they'll be going out probably on Friday, and then Bob's Drunk will finish on.
Make sure you hit me in my DMs with the link to the t-shirt and
no problem, bro.
Whatnot. No problem. We'll put it out there for sure. Guys, this has been our time. This has been WrstlXtra. You're watching on the WrestleManiac UK YouTube channel. Of course, like, subscribe, and click that notification bell to make sure you are connected to us and Mex, the hardest worker in the game.
Hardest worker in the game.
Always, always, shout out to the boys. Wrestling's podcast as well. Make sure you follow them on YouTube. Also, you can find me, Dazzle, the Black Wrestling Advocate, and on Black Wrestling Alliance on Instagram, BWA Dazzle on Twitter, and this guy Mex is on WrestleManiac UK on Twitter, WrestleManiac.uk on Instagram. Folks, this has been our time. This has been Alexander Roth.
Shouts out 8-7. Shouts out Banks. Shouts out Rem. Shouts out Big Wavy Roy Johnson. Shouts out Kieran Corrupt. Shouts out James.
Guys, this is our time. We are out of here.
See you later, guys.